Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a different one. I thought it would be fun to just have a sit down, drink and chit chat and do my hair at the same time because I straightened my hair throughout this entire time, and just talk about the things that have been heavy on my mind for a while. So you guys saw the title of this video, you saw the thumbnail, so this is why you clicked on the video, and I have a lot on my mind when it comes to this topic. So let's just get started. Here is what we're working with. It looks crazy. I washed my hair last night and let it air dry because I was just like, I cannot stand to just sit under a blow dryer. It is entirely too hot. So I have my straightener right here. I'm gonna straighten my hair. I also have my vino because we have some things to talk about. Okay, so I know that the topic is haters, but they come in many shapes and forms. Some of them are obvious haters, others are close to you and you wouldn't expect it. And trust me, I've dealt with a lot of these. So what I've noticed this past year is that there have been a lot of people who have made it like their job online and in person, but I've seen a lot of it online. But I've been seeing so many people who have just been talking so much crap about other people, like just bringing them down, whether it comes to how they spend their money. I've seen a lot of that, what people are doing in their lives. So topic number one is how people spend their money. And I've noticed a lot of people my age have been buying things that we didn't have the money to be able to buy a couple years ago, myself included for sure. And I'm talking about like luxury items, right? So I'm all for normalizing people who aren't really known for having luxury in their lives, splurging on something they wouldn't normally splurge on, or treating themselves to certain things, whether it is a handbag or a nice pair of shoes or a nice manicure. With that, I've seen a lot of freaking comments. I've heard a lot of freaking comments from people. I started to get into this mindset, especially after watching videos from people like Haley Gamba or Aaliyah's Face, where they have actually normalized this type of thing in their lives, and I'm just like, they're amazing. Like, they're so confident, and that's just like the type of thing that I'm trying to do for myself, right? I want to treat myself, and now that I'm a grown-up and I have the means to do so, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna treat myself. So I have a handbag. I have a Louis Vuitton. It's the On The Go, and that was actually a birthday gift. It was a very generous birthday gift, and it honestly is my favorite handbag that I have. I've had it for about 2 years now, and when I purchased it, I had imposter syndrome, and that's a big thing that comes along with this because in a lot of our communities, we kind of feel like we don't deserve some of the nice things that we get for ourselves or some of the nice things that are out there, and that's a big problem. We deserve it too. It's not just one type of person that deserves to have nice things. I got it 2 years ago for my birthday, and it's still my most favorite handbag, and it will forever stay in my collection. So I was so proud of it, but I bring this bag up for a reason because it specifically has gotten me the most unnecessary comments from people that it just blows my mind, because I'm the type of person to just like, if you're doing something good, if you're buying something nice, if you're treating yourself, good for you. But I have gotten the most comments on this freaking handbag, and it's just like, what is the freaking, like, what's the point? At the time, I know now, but obviously at the time I wasn't too familiar with like certain things that you should do and shouldn't do when it comes to your handbags, like where to wear them to and where you probably shouldn't wear them to. So when I got this bag, I was so freaking excited. I was just like, I'm taking it everywhere. It was a lot of money, so I want to wear it as many places as I possibly can. So I took it to work. And now I know, like, I probably should not have done that because of certain things that come along with that. And this is the perfect example. So when I started taking it to work, people definitely started noticing, and I have had the majority of the people were like super nice about it. But then I actually had someone who, and she looked at it and she just threw the most shady comments my way. The first comment that she made was just like, it was something like, who bought you that? Kind of just insisting that I couldn't buy it myself. That's not the first thing that you should ask somebody with something new that they got. And I didn't hear that from anybody else. And then I don't know if it was a couple days later or a couple weeks later, we were talking about something and I misspoke and I accidentally used one word over another about whatever we were talking about. I don't even remember what the topic was at the time, but I think I used the word robbing instead of whatever else we were talking about. But then she was like, oh, now I know how you got your bag. And I'm just like, what the hell is the problem? And then she went on to just talk about how whenever she gets gifts from loved ones, then it's normally experiences because they value experiences more than material things. And I'm just like, why are you telling me this? Like, why are you going on for so long? This is like weeks. So that was the first time I started getting comments about that handbag. Then I started getting comments from people that I didn't even know. So I remember I was walking down the street one day with the bag and I was looking a little, you know, I wasn't looking the best. I had a long day, it was the end of the day, and I was outside. And so then this lady comes up to me and then she's just like, where did you get your handbag? It's so beautiful. And then I told her, I was like, oh, it's from the Louis Vuitton store in Soho. Then she was like, I thought that it was counterfeit. Why is that something that you tell a random stranger? I just thought it was very rude and unnecessary, especially when you're asking someone where they got something that you like. Those comments kind of just tell me right there where everybody's head's at. And it just bothered me because it just made me feel like, we take it back to imposter syndrome. It just made me feel like I look a certain way. Obviously, I don't look like I have $1 million in my bank account, or it can even be culturally, like I don't culturally look like I come from money. So people automatically assume that either what I have is fake or somebody else had to buy it for me, which is crazy because I've bought other luxury items on my own. For a little while, it made me feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be wearing this bag because maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I don't have the look for it. But then I was just like, no, this was a very beautiful gift. So then there's just those like obviously hater ass comments, right? But then we go into the judgy, super judgy comments, and these are the ones that come from people that you know. And I've definitely had those comments directed towards me. I had to just quickly look at my progress in the mirror because right now I'm just using the screen on the camera, so I don't know how it's coming out, but it's coming out pretty well. I can't find my hair clips and it's just making it difficult for me. Just making my life more difficult. There are people that you know that have seen you and how your life has been going for a while, and then once you start doing things or buying things that you've always wanted and finally have the means to do or to buy, then these people feel like you don't deserve it either because they know where you've been and they feel like if they're not doing better than you, then you don't deserve what you have. Perfect example, kind of just going off of the whole luxury topic that I was just talking about. I bought myself a small leather good. I bought myself a wallet from Louis Vuitton, and I actually have talked about it on my channel. Super excited. It's like the best wallet that I've ever had. Every other year I've bought wallets from like Forever 21. When I started actually like with my grown-up job, I bought myself 2 Michael Kors wallets, and I was so excited because I was just like, I'm finally an adult. I'm making a big purchase for myself at the time. This was years ago, and I wore the hell out of those wallets because I was just so proud at the fact that I was able to make my own money. I worked for it and I was so excited. So nobody judged me for that, right? Nobody judged me for those. But then now that I decided that I wanted to get a more expensive wallet because obviously my pay has increased over the years and I feel like this is something that I want to invest in, the first question is always, how much did you spend on that? And then when I would tell them the price, because obviously it's people that I know, then what I would get next would be, oh, well, you could have bought 4 or 5 different handbags for that same price as as that little ass wallet. And I'm just like, okay, I don't care. I've heard those comments not just about like material things, but also like if I decide to go out to eat to somewhere nice, the question is, how much did you spend on that? It's just like, first of all, I'm about to not even answer those questions anymore when they are coming across as like they're about to be judgy, because I know the difference between somebody asking how much something is because they're interested in it and how much something is because they want to judge you based off of how much you spent on something. Now I know the difference. You get those comments, and then when you do end up buying something that's inexpensive, nobody says anything. It's just like that's what they want you to do. So then that also goes into people continuing to judge you for spending money on that and not saving it. She spent all this money doing this and that when she could have saved that money to buy a house, to buy a car, to save it, to splurge on something really big. But instead she wasted it on an expensive dinner. I don't like spending too much money just on food, but it's just like, it's not just about the food, it's about the experience. There's a lot of people who like to judge you just like that, but they don't know that you have $50,000 saved in your savings account, and this is extra money that you saved to the side because this is something that you really wanted to do. They don't know that. They just think that you're spending the little bit of money that you have on something instead of saving it to spend it for something else. And honestly, at the end of the day, these people are just judging and have so much to say about you to make themselves feel so much better about themselves, when at the end of the day you don't know when your last day on earth is. And I've seen myself, people that I know have saved every little bit of money that they have until the last day on this planet, and they never got to spend it, they never got to use it. So if somebody has enough money, all their bills are paid, they're not in debt, they don't have to worry about anything, then why do you care about how they spend their money? Like, why do you care about the things that they decide to do with the money that they saved up and put to the side? Like, if they want to spend it on something that makes them feel good, then let them go ahead and do it. And then it just goes back to imposter syndrome, because these people just make you feel like what you're doing or what you're treating yourself to is something that you don't deserve, and then you end up getting stuck in the same cycle as them because you feel like, oh, maybe they're right, maybe I shouldn't be doing this for myself, because we started at the same place, we grew up the same, and even though we're adults now and at 2 different places in our lives, maybe I should not be spending as much on myself as I am doing right now because they told me that I don't deserve it. And that is so not right. The amount of times I've heard people, not just with me, but like other people that I know, the amount of times I've heard people say, you spent all this money on these sneakers, I would have spent that to invest in a house. Meanwhile, these people are living in an apartment just like you. They're not any closer to buying a house. So like, where's the logic? And I know that I probably sound like annoying, but it's just like, it's honestly annoying because I try to spend the majority of my time just investing in myself and seeing what I can do for myself to make me happier and make my situation for myself better. And honestly, I've just seen a whole different side of how women, how they live their lives and how they see themselves and see the things that they deserve and how they treat themselves. I'm going through this self-improvement journey for myself, and I've just been living every day like telling myself, you work so hard and you deserve the things that you deserve. Obviously, just don't go crazy. Okay, so I just finished. The front does not look bad. I'm just laughing because maybe I should put some oil in my hair. The back doesn't feel bad, but I know like in the inside, my roots feel curly. Honestly, I'm probably not gonna be wearing my hair out like this because it is just too humid in New York City for like the past 2 months, I want to say. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but I also don't want to sit here and just make it seem like I'm just complaining about everybody out there saying that everybody's a hater. They're not. These are literally just certain people who make it their job to kind of just hate, like I've had a lot of people who have been so supportive, who have just been like genuinely interested in the things that I do, or the things that I have, or the things that I've done, and like in a good way. You can tell, like you can tell the vibe when someone wants to ask you questions or talk to you about certain things that you have or do. And it's just like, if you feel like the vibe is off, don't even entertain it, don't even respond, because at the end of the day, just protect yourself. A lot of us feel like we have to do this and that before we deserve anything better, when that's not true at all. That's a problem. It contributes to the imposter syndrome that we deal with. And I just think that's terrible. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to create this video, because I know that I have definitely suffered from imposter syndrome a lot. At the end of the day, they're gonna talk all the crap that they want to talk, but then you're gonna be living your life the way that you want to live it, and it doesn't matter what they say, because they're not paying for the things that you buy. They're not paying for the things that you do. That's what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat. It's definitely different than what I've done before, but I feel like it's just a nice little sit down, get to know me type of video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.